Here, families let one daughter live, perhaps two, but then they often kill them off. All clinics promote contraception, but these women keep getting pregnant until they have a son. Until then, they're all potential killers. This woman has now been sterilized after having a son, but not before killing 3 daughters. Dr. Sushila Chandran delivers 100 babies a month at her private clinic. At least 10 of them are killed soon after birth, and it's always the baby girls. But she feels powerless to stop it. Why don't you tell the police when you know your patient is going to kill her baby girl?
Suppose baby இது மாதிரி கொண்டு போய் கொன்னுடுவாங்கன்னு தெரிஞ்சும் பட் என்னால எதுவும் செய்ய முடியாது. ஏன்னா நாம ஒரு இது மாதிரி போலீஸ்ல ரிப்போர்ட் பண்றோம் அப்படின்னு ஆரம்பிச்சா இந்த பப்ளிக் நமக்கு எகெயின்ஸ்டா இண்டிவிஜுவல் பர்சன் நாம தனியப்பட்ட முறையில என்ன ஒண்ணும் பண்ண முடியாது.
One individual is trying to stop female infanticide. He's the chief of police of Salem district. Superintendent Subramaniam has made it his personal crusade. He was provoked into action after infanticide hit the local headlines last year. And he's been using every occasion, even the opening of a new temple, to speak out against it. Although infanticide is classed as murder, the public widely ignores the law.
அந்த ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட சமூகம் இல்ல ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட கிராமத்துல அந்த குழந்தைகள் ஒரு பெண் குழந்தைக்கு மேல பிறந்தால் அது உயிரோட வச்சிருந்தா பின்னால நமக்கு அது பல விதமான தொல்லை அப்படின்னு ஒழிக்கிறதுல everybody is doing it. So it was not deemed as a crime. அது குற்றமா யாரும் நினைக்கல. வேற ஒரு சமூக நீதியா நினைக்கல.
To back up his words, the superintendent has made some token arrests. Police showed cameras where they'd exhumed the grave of a baby girl who died under suspicious circumstances.
This is their house.
The family denied murder, but the superintendent had no doubt in his mind.
We satisfy ourselves with this mother. Nothing else. That baby will be never met with a natural death.
Since then, several more graves have been exhumed, but still not a single person is in jail for infanticide. Indian laws have long lacked the muscle to change social habits.
Good. Ready for inspection, sir.
So Salem's superintendent has crowned himself the king of justice.
Dismiss.
Trying to bypass the legal system, Superintendent Subramaniam holds court in front of the police station. He hopes to improve the status of women by attacking the dowry system. Dowries were actually made illegal 30 years ago, yet they're as prevalent as ever. Dozens of women come complaining of harassment. He issues summary verdicts on the spot. This man beats his wife regularly because she didn't bring him enough jewels. The superintendent's unusual methods of helping women have become legendary, drawing large crowds. Sadly, perhaps, he's now been moved to Do you normally beat the husband?
No, normally not. When see in the presence of all these people, he is justified. அவன் வந்து ஒய்ஃபை அடிக்கிறது அது நியாயம் அப்படின்னு சொல்றான். எஸ்பிஐ வந்து இந்த மாதிரி ஹஸ்பண்ட் ஒய்ஃபு தப்பா பேசினா கணவன் அடிக்கலாம் அப்படின்னு ஒரு எண்ணம் உருவாயிரும் மற்றவங்களுக்கு. அந்த எண்ணம் யாருக்கும் பார்க்கணும் வரக்கூடாது. கொண்டாடி அடிச்சா போலீஸ் நம்மளை இந்த மாதிரி அடி கொடுப்பாங்க அப்படின்னு பயம் வரணும்.
Deeper into Tamil Nadu, in the district of Madurai, we found the years of killing have taken their toll. Mondigundu is just one of hundreds of small communities where boys greatly outnumbered girls. Here, out of 17 children, only 5 are girls. Tackling infanticide at its roots needs a long-term approach. A child welfare group is working here to encourage girls' education and so her earning power. They set up creches so older daughters are free to go to school instead of being forced to look after their brothers and sisters. Social workers also monitor the pregnant mothers. 5 years ago, they could bribe the women with a goat not to kill their daughters. Now, even loans for land and wells aren't enough. Their small advances are constantly being undermined. The last baby girl killed here was only 3 weeks before we arrived. Television is one of the culprits, bombarding even a remote village like Mondigundu. It's brought not enlightenment, but instead a desire for Western luxuries. Husbands now ask for larger and larger dowries, making girl children an even greater burden on their parents. Social worker Andal Damodaran is horrified by the effects of the new consumerism.
They're being exposed to so many material things which were not there earlier. Radios, TV sets, polyester clothing. The demands are growing, and they seem to find that a dowry is one way of fulfilling all these desires. In spite of all our, religious philosophy that we should move away from desires, I think it's growing.
But dowry used to be exclusive to the upper castes, but now it has spread to the poorest villages. Daughters, once cherished, are seen as a bad investment. Her husband keeps her and her dowry. Parents say bringing up a girl is like watering a neighbour's plant. The pressure to commit infanticide is often overwhelming. Those who resist can pay a high price. Maheshwari refused to let her husband kill their twin daughters. With the help of her parents, she saved them. The twins are now a year old. But keeping them alive cost them their home. The husband threw them out, and they're now shunned by the neighbours. Mother and daughters now have to live with Maheshwari's parents. So much for the dowry they paid, worth 15 years' salary.
எங்க மனசு நெஞ்சு சீ பிடிச்ச மாதிரி இருக்குது. அவ்வளவு தொந்தரவு எங்களுக்கு. இவ்வளவு தூரம் நம்ம இத்தனை எல்லாம் செஞ்சு காசை கொடுத்து குழந்தைங்களை காப்பாத்தலாம்னு நினைச்சு நம்ம செஞ்சோமே, இப்ப கொல்ல சொல்றாங்களே. நம்ம குழந்தை கஷ்டப்பட்டு அப்படி நெத்தி தண்ணி வலிச்சு ஊத்தியாவது குழந்தைங்களை காப்பாத்தணும். நமக்கு ஒரு காலத்து அது புண்ணியம் கிடைக்கும். ஆனா குழந்தைங்களை கொண்டுட்டோம்னா கண்டிப்பா பாவம் கிடைக்கும். அதுங்களை காப்பாத்து அளவுக்கு நமக்கு புண்ணியம் கிடைக்கும்.
The state government is now trying to make it easier for mothers to save their babies. In the dead of night, they can come and put their baby girls in cradles placed outside health centres. But so far, only 50 mothers have preferred this to the burial pit. This is Sai Lakshmi. She's a week old. Her mother abandoned her a few hours after she was born. Her only crime, to have been born a girl. She weighs just 4 pounds. Even that's a lot for a cradle baby. Many come here weak and sick, weighing barely more than a pound. These babies have had a narrow escape. Before the scheme, they would have been killed. This baby girl has a twin brother. Her mother kept him, but abandoned her. For every fragile baby brought to this orphanage in Madras, there are thousands of others who have died at the hands of their families. In the villages, we found great suspicion of the cradle scheme. Mothers think the government should be helping them out of their poverty instead of interfering in their private affairs. They feel a baby is better off being killed than living out her life with strangers.
எப்படிதான் நாங்க காப்பாத்து நீ காப்பாத்து 10 மாதமும் முகத்துல வச்சிருந்து உயிரோட கொண்டாந்து உங்கையில கொடுத்துட்டு வர முடியுமா? நீங்க கொடுத்துட்டு வருவீங்களா எங்களுக்கு? 4 மணி சட்டி எடுத்தான் காய்ச்சி குடிக்காம ஏன் கொண்டு உயிரோட கொடுப்பானே? ஏமனுக்கு 7 பிள்ளை கொடுத்தாலும் உத்தானுக்கு 1 பிள்ளை கொடுக்கணும் நாங்க கொண்டு போறோம்.
Chanjit Kaur is one of millions of mothers who don't want daughters but would never dream of killing them. Now they've discovered a new way of getting rid of girls. They flock to the towns where modern technology has provided an efficient weapon. Ludhiana, a booming industrial town in the Punjab, northern India. Here the latest fashion for sex determination tests has taken hold. Chanjit goes to one of the growing number of clinics. In a country starved of medical technology, there's no shortage of ultrasound machines. They're meant to be used for detecting fetal abnormalities, but here patients are only interested in one thing, the sex of the fetus.
But as far as male-female is concerned, we see the genitalia. In the male child, we see the male organs very, very clearly. Look, this is the whole leg of the child. This is another leg, and here I'm seeing the female organs. There's no doubt about, in my mind, it's only a female child.
The doctor's verdict, it's only a girl. Dr. Baldeep Singh says he can tell the sex at 14 weeks. Some claim to do it at 11. When it's a girl, it's as good as a death warrant for the fetus. With 4 daughters already and an angry mother-in-law at home, Chanjit's mind is made up. How do you feel about the idea of having an abortion?
If we don't do the test, what they will do is they'll keep on producing females. They will not stop. They can have as much as 9, 10, 11, 12 female children. They will stop only once they have a male child.
For Chanjit, it's another bitter disappointment. She goes for her abortion, just like virtually every other woman whose test says they're carrying a female child. For mothers like Chanjit, ultrasound is a godsend. With 100% accuracy. Billboards like this are everywhere. the sex determination industry is booming. It's an industry whose sole aim is to identify the female baby in the womb so she can be eliminated. And this is now happening on a massive scale. We're not talking about hundreds or thousands or even hundreds of thousands. But each year in India, over 1 million female fetuses are disposed of after the ultrasound verdict. Ultrasound clinics began to mushroom in northern India in the mid-1980s.